All right, so that part's done, and oh man, that part was done. Now I gotta put this back in there again, which means I gotta turn. Is that a blooper? That's kind of like a blooper, huh? All right, guys, so this is the tappets, which ride on the cam and push the push rods up and down. And I typically like to put a little motor assembly lube on them also, just so that they're, kind of helps hold them in there sometimes too, so they're not falling out on you when we're trying to put the cam in. I'm fixing to drop this one like that. Might help to have a pair of needle nose pliers. And there's not a lot of room in here to get in and out of there. And they all feel pretty snug, so I'm assuming that I'm gonna have to put this flashlight down. I'm assuming that they're pretty, the machining is still good on them. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around where I can see what I'm doing here. And I still can't see. Crab apples. Okay, let me get a pair of needle nose pliers would work best. These are not exactly the ones I was looking for. But they'll work, I guess. We'll see. Well, I say they'll work. I don't know if they will or not. Yeah, they'll work. Okay, where you at? Oh, on the wrong side. There we go. Okay, so the lifters are in, or the tappets, not the lifters I guess, but the tappets are in. So now we're going to put the camshaft in, and the only thing really to worry about with the camshaft is I just lubed it up real good with assembly lube, engine assembly lube, and you got to look for the dot on this dude, because the dot, oh there it is right there. So the dot has to line up with the dot on the crankshaft for it to be in time. And I got that way off. I'm trying to do a few things here at the same time. One tooth off. All right. So I got to get it in the, so turn this crank a little bit so it's straight up and down. Then I got to find the hole back there that it sits in. Oh, it's down lower. I'm trying to put it in too high. Okay, so you see the dots. There's a dot on the crankshaft gear, and it's straight up, and there's a dot on the camshaft gear, and they line up exactly the same. And like I said, I put assembly lube on here One thing you should remember when you're putting this back in is make sure, I just had an issue with that, I'm gonna pull it back out real quick, is the spring on the governor had fallen off and was no longer hooked. And if that spring's not hooked, your governor's not gonna work. Your engine governor. So, just took that out just to show you that. Let me see if I can get her back in there again. And if you're one tooth off on this, it's not gonna run right, if it runs at all. Okay, so got her all lined back up, and everything's good right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and torque these rods down while I've got it in this spot here, and I put a little, like I said, I put a little assembly lube on the tappets, and I'll put a little assembly lube on the bottom of the push rods where they're sitting in the cup on the tappets. So it'll all be lubricated good before we put her back together. Anyway, so I'll be back with you in a minute. Now we're going to torque these rods to 87 inch-pounds. There it is. There it is. So that's the front one. Or actually that was the number 2. Not a whole lot of room in here for a torque wrench, really, but gotta find that sweet spot. Okay, that says it's torqued to 87 inch-pounds. And I don't know if you guys ever took apart one of these governors or looked in there. It's pretty cool actually how it works. Them ball bearings, the faster it runs, they sling out. And there's an arm in there, and it spreads that arm out, swings that arm over, and I don't know exactly how it all works, but it's kind of cool. You can figure it out if you look at it a little closer, or look at it closely. Anyway, all right, so that part's done, and oh man, that part was done. Now I got to put this back in there again, which means I got to turn. Is that a blooper? That's kind of like a blooper, huh? I gotta find the dot again. I'll probably cut this out. Oh, there it is. Okay, all my tappets are still in there. get it on the right one? Yeah, we're on the right one. Okay. Let's don't do that again.